Good morning, Yankees fans. Welcome to the Pinstripe Chronicles. It's just me, Oos. It's just Rob today. It's Friday morning. Tats is busy. Donald is apparently George Costanza, gets hurt doing everyday activities, but it's just me. I'm flying solo today. Going to give you guys a quick little update. We're planning on doing a show tomorrow, and we'll be doing our awards for the Padres series, but it was a little too late. I didn't want to cancel on you guys. I saw Jonathan was here at 6:24 in the morning. Ken hopped in at 9:30. John the Beagle Dad showing up at 9:50. TC Steels at 9:54. So I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. Hop on for a little bit this morning, talk some Yankees baseball. Might have a guest coming on with me in a few minutes or so to get some stuff in here. So the Yankees had a good series. They beat up on the Padres a little bit of a headache there with Devin Williams, but they got the dub, series dub, always nice, pulling to 21 wins on the season, still in first place. So just want to say what's up to everybody. How are we all doing today? Please let me know in the chat. This is a time for us to speak. Me and you guys and myself. We're going to talk Yankees baseball. Whatever your thoughts were about the series, please let me know, and we could talk about it. So it's good to see everybody here in the chat so far. Like I said earlier, in case you're popping in, no Tats, no Donald. It's just Rob. It's just Rob Oos for now. Might have a guest coming on in a couple of minutes. But Ken, TC, John, Jonathan. Yeah, I know you're always early, Jonathan. Let me know what you guys are feeling about this series. What were your overall thoughts about it? How did you feel about Devin Williams kind of redeeming himself a little bit, I guess, coming through in that 10th inning after nearly blowing it? So let me know what you think. And, yeah, the Yankees got the series win. So I don't know what to think about this team. Now, I said on the show Monday that it's very weird. It's a weird team. I don't really know what their identity is because one day they look like the best team in baseball. The next day, they look like they don't belong. And we kind of saw that really get magnified this entire series where in the first game, they blow a 3-0 lead, rain delays and all. Devin Williams comes in, just craps the bed. Luke Weaver can't bail him out. Game 2, they're getting no hit. And I'm sorry, not no game 2. Game 2, they put up the 10-run inning after they were down, and they looked amazing. Another historic inning. And then game 3, they were getting no hit, but ended up coming back. Bellinger ties the game up. As Ken points out here, Trent Grisham has been outstanding. He's been the man, absolutely. Should the Yankees re-sign him or let him walk in free agency? That's a great question. Because I feel like for the last couple of years now, last 3 years, we've been having these conversations about outfielders with hot starts. And we start getting into that topic of should they or should they not extend the player. 2 years ago, it was kind of Harrison Bader. When he came off the IL, he lit up a spark in the lineup, and the Yankees started to win some games. That fizzled out quickly after Judge got hurt. But last year, it was Verdugo. This year, it's been Grisham, but he's been better than those two by a country mile. So I'm not too sure what they're going to do with Grisham. I still think it's a little too early to get into those conversations about extensions and re-signings and whatnot. But I think for now, we just kind of have to enjoy it while it's here because I don't think anybody could have expected it. Good morning to Lou. Good morning to Stevie B, and good morning to my dad. He says, happy birthday. Thank you. It is my birthday today, so I just wanted to come on and say hello to you guys because it was very last minute along with the stuff going on. Tats is very busy this whole weekend. Donald had something happen, and he's got to do some stuff for his Knicks. So a lot of last-minute changes, and I don't want to cancel on you guys. So I saw a lot of people waiting in the chat. I was like, I don't want to leave our good viewers hanging here. FJ, good morning. Good to see everybody. So let me know what you think about Trent Grisham. What's up, John? He says, yo, what's going on, John the Beagle Dad? Trent Grisham, yay or nay? Should the Yankees extend him? I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Thank you, Nosebleed. Appreciate that. As we get more comments in about Grisham, like I was saying earlier about the team, just the ups and downs. Like I still don't know what they are. identity-wise. It is very early in the season still. We're not even 40 games in. I still want to wait until they're healthier, when Stanton's back, when Jake Cousins is back, Loizaga, eventually Luis Heel, and then maybe we'll get a better understanding of what this team is. Thank you, Sunil. Extend Ben Rice. I like that idea from John. Ben Rice is a player that we knew his bat was there. Glove-wise, there's still some things to work on, but he's been a fine first baseman when he's been out there. He hasn't been out there very often. Lou's got a good point. They're not going to extend him. He's playing for a big contract. He wants to get paid, and I don't know if the Yankees are going to do that. And FJ brings up a great point to follow up what Lou says. Extending Grisham kind of creates a problem with blocking Spencer Jones. We know Spencer Jones ain't going anywhere. The Yankees have held him out of trade talks for a couple of years now. If the plan is to get Dominguez in left, eventually Jones in center, Judge stays in right field for the next few years until he transitions to DH eventually. That's kind of what the future holds for the Yankee outfield. Grisham's, if he keeps up this pace, which I don't think he will, let's be honest here, he's already surpassed his home run total from last year. He's putting himself in a potential career year. He's going to get a pretty big payday to go start somewhere. I think this is probably his last hurrah for the Yankees, and I hope it continues to go at this pace because it's been fantastic to watch. Keep Spencer Jones in the minors until they know what they're doing with Stanton. Well, Stanton, he's not going to play a factor in Spencer Jones's future. Stanton's a DH when he's on the field. When we get him back, which could be at the end of the month, potentially, it could be some point in June, July. I'm not going to hold my breath because every time they talk about Stanton when it comes to injuries, he's never on time. But it'd be nice to have him back sooner than later because just his presence in the lineup helps. Let's see what Ken's saying. Grisham would be a starter in most other major league squads. True. Regardless of his bat, he is one of the best defensive players in baseball. Don't think we could find a better fourth outfielder. That's a great point. I just don't know if they're going to pay him. Right now he's making what, $5 million, right? Let's say he wants 15, right? Just as a starting number. You're going to pay $15 million for a fourth outfielder, spot starter, when Bellinger's more than likely going to be under contract. Now, I know he can play first base next year, but then what does that leave Ben Rice? Do you want to relegate Ben Rice to a DH? And then what do you do with Stanton? Do they cut Stanton? It makes more sense to cut him on the final year of his deal because they have that buyout, so they would save a few bucks there. It does create kind of a loophole. Not really a loophole. It kind of creates a problem with too many players. You're right, John. So I don't know what they do. If this pace keeps up, he's going to finish with like 40-something home runs. He's going to get a big payday. Some team is going to pay him, like Ken is saying, to be their everyday center fielder. I highly doubt he would re-sign unless he was guaranteed a starting spot. But if they do that, that takes away a spot from Dominguez potentially. It takes away a spot from Spencer Jones potentially. And I don't know if the Yankees want to create that problem. So I think for now, you kind of just enjoy what you're getting from Trent Grisham. Hope it stays this way for a long time because you ride the hot streak. And right now, there are few players in baseball that are hotter than Trent Grisham. I think he's top 3 in OPS, if I'm not mistaken. It's him, Judge, and Ohtani. I think I read that stat correctly, which is pretty insane to me. That who would have thought that on May 9th, Trent Grisham would be in the same conversation as Ohtani and Judge. It's pretty wild. I saw a stat where he was like right there with Ohtani and Judge. I probably got the stat wrong, but what's up to Sean Browning? What's up to CT Cards? Good to see you guys popping in the chat. What else? We talked about Trent Grisham. Let's talk about Devin Williams. Kind of a headache and a breath of fresh air in that one inning. He puts himself into a major problem, bases loaded, 2 outs, but ended up striking out. Was it Machado to end the inning or Bogarts to end the inning? Absolutely, just the up and down of Devin Williams was completely there in that inning. He goes in, gets the first guy. You're like, all right, that's a good at bat. And then he gives up the base runners, and you're like, here we go again. He falls behind 3-2 to Bogarts. And then he gets the strikeout and he gets pumped up. And I love to see it because we need that from Devin Williams. We need the air bender to start bending the air because he needs to be that effective, at least 7th or 8th inning guy. If Weaver's going to stay in that closer role or if he wants to reclaim that closer role, it's imperative that he gets those strikeouts. So I really liked what I saw, and I didn't like what I saw in that same inning from Devin Williams. It's kind of the ups and the downs of him, and that's baseball, right? But that's kind of what he's been. He's shown the flashes of what made him a 2-time reliever of the year winner, but most of the time this year, he's been absolutely unusable. Like the first game of this series, he was terrible. And he had that infamous face in the dugout that's going to probably become a meme for the entire season. But then he kind of redeems himself with getting himself pumped up at the end. Like Sunil says here, Devin Williams needed that in the worst way possible. He was pumped. He finally showed emotion. CT agrees. He says there was good and bad in that inning. It's what you got in that entire inning from Devin Williams. It was the definition of ups and downs in baseball. Like you had heart palpitations watching him. And then you got the breath of fresh air, the sigh of relief, and they get the walk-off there. Let's see what Ken's saying here. The trust factor that the Yankees have shown in Dominguez, I would not be surprised if they moved him at the deadline. There's a conversation to be had there. What do you guys think about Ken's statement? Do you think, with the way the Yankees are using Jason Dominguez currently, he had a big game in game 2, big inning, as part of that 10-run inning. Do you think that they try to maybe put him in some trade conversations for a starting pitcher, I'm assuming, Ken, or a third baseman? What, maybe both? What do you think they're going to try to get? I hope they don't. I'll just say this right now. Jason Dominguez should be playing as much as possible. But with the way the Yankees are using him, the conversation probably gets started sooner than we'd like. I didn't want to trade him. He was probably one of my maybe 2 untouchables in this entire system. And I really hope they don't move him, but it would have to be a starting pitcher. It had to be a good starting pitcher. You can't trade for some like random name, like an expiring contract, like an Eric Fady, who's good, but you don't want to trade him for a rental. You want to get him for a guy that you have multiple years of control. Kind of like when Cease was available last year, you would have got at least 2 years of him. When Castillo was getting traded, you would have had multiple years of control. Those are the kind of pitchers that you move a Jason Dominguez for because he's got the tools. He's fast. He's learning left field on the fly. He's been okay at times. He's been rough at times. The bat is there. I don't think they should trade him at all, so I am not advocating that they trade him. But Ken does bring up a good point. The way they're using him is not necessarily a guy that the organization is saying, yeah, you're the future, right? So I don't think that they're going to trade him. No, I wouldn't, Ken. I love Brendan Donovan. Don't get me wrong. I love Brendan Donovan, and I would love for him to be a Yankee. But like Lou says, we need all the bats we can get. I don't think you trade a young bat for a guy like Donovan, who you might get, 2-3 years out of right now. Dominguez you can have here for the next decade plus, right? If they play him and you got him, obviously rookie contract, arbitration, potential extensions if the Yankees want to get in on what other teams are doing. I think Dominguez is a guy that you want to keep here for a long time. Whereas Brendan Donovan, you'd get him for, I believe, 2.5 seasons, and he's more than likely going to leave in free agency. But the thing is about Brendan Donovan is he offers so much versatility. He can play everywhere. So there is that. I don't think that they trade Dominguez for him. I would probably, just me personally, I know this might not be popular, I would probably trade Spencer Jones before I trade Jason Dominguez. Not that I don't like Spencer Jones. I just think that Dominguez is already here. The Yankees should be playing him. And if they're going to do this to Dominguez, what are they going to do with Spencer Jones when he's ready? Let's see what we got from the chat. John, I'm not ready to trade Jason. They are management. His I'm having a stroke trying to read that. I think you're trying to say they're mismanaging him. Sean Browning is saying he has to be an elite pitcher, controllable years, exactly. CT's agreeing with me. He's also agreeing with Sean. John's saying keep Jason and keeping on. Could the Yankees trade Grisham at the deadline if they don't intend on re-signing him? There's another conversation. If Stanton comes back and he's hitting, what's up, Dev? Tats and Donald are both busy currently today, so we won't be seeing them. Donald does want to do a show tomorrow for the awards because I have Tats' awards. I don't have Donald's. I have mine, but I think tomorrow we'll have Donald, and at some point earlier in the day, we're gonna have to get together to figure out a time, Dev. But we're gonna be doing the awards for the San Diego series tomorrow because some scheduling things, and like I said earlier in the show, I know you weren't there for the early part of the show, but it was too late to change the time of the stream and it's too late to cancel on you guys. Jason saying Grisham is going to demand more money too this offseason if he keeps playing like this. Exactly, Jason. He's going to want a lot of money. So that does bring up the conversation of, do they potentially move him? If some team offers you pitching for Grisham, like if Dominguez starts to heat up and Bellinger starts to hit the way the Yankees expect him to hit, we're not worried about Aaron Judge. They get Stanton back. He's healthy. He's hitting home runs. Ben Rice is still hitting home runs. You still have Goldschmidt playing at a high level. If all these things are happening and Grisham starts to maybe cool off a tad, I'm not saying completely cool off because then no one's going to want to trade for him, but if he cools off a little bit and starts to go back to that fourth outfielder role and a team gives you an arm or something like that, yeah, it's too many what ifs. That's exactly true, Lou. But this is kind of what we're talking about here when you get to the point in May. And now we've got a number 2 on our panel here. It's not just Rob anymore. We're joined by NFE of the Strike Zone. NFE, good to see you. I should be popping you on here. It says I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, guys. This is a StreamYard issue. Let me try this again. He should be here. I think you guys can hear him.
Can you hear me?
I can hear him. I can't see him. There he is.
Okay.
We got him.
I clicked on something and popped up.
NFE, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. What's going on, man? I saw the back signal and I was like, you know what? I got a little time. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna help out my boy. So why not? Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I appreciate it. Of course, anytime. We're talking about the what ifs, as Lou puts it, because after this series, this team is kind of in limbo of where we are identity-wise. What do you think about potentially extending Trent Grisham, or do they try to move him at some point this year? What do you think about that?
Wow, what a question. That's complicated, man. Because Grisham just created an interesting situation for the Yankees. Because I'm sure a lot of us, and I don't know about you, but at least I thought, okay, Grisham's going to be the fourth outfielder, and he's going to come in and play defense every once in a while, or play the field, be in the lineup, not every day, but once in a while. And we know his bat last year wasn't exactly the greatest, but I thought it was just going to be more the same. But this guy is just blown up out of nowhere. Like, I was like, who is this Trent Grisham?
Right.
And ever since he became a dad, I feel like it's even made him better. So he's got that dad strength. But I don't know. I don't see the Yankees extending him, because we have seen when the Yankees extend players historically, it just turns out bad for them. Listen, if they did, I mean, how many years are we talking, like, for the extension? I mean, that's number one. Number two, I could see, I personally, I see them just playing out this Trent Grisham play out the season, and then see what happens, right? See what happens. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't bring him back either. I mean, that's kind of a wild take, but But I think it's still, there's still a long way to go. I mean, until
Right.
the offseason. But I think I don't see an extension happening personally. Um, it's because last year, he was all right. This season, different story. It's hard, man. I don't know, but I'll just say this: an extension I don't see happening. I think they're gonna let him hit the market personally.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Because I said it before earlier in the show that it feels like we've had these conversations now the last few seasons with Verdugo and Bader before that, where
Yeah,
they get off to the hot start, and then once they cool off, it's like, okay, well, we don't have to worry about him past this season. So I think you enjoy it where it is now, and if the opportunity does arise to keep him around, you can maybe move a prospect or something like that for pitching, then you go ahead and do that. But the thing is, Trent Grisham's never done this in his career. Like his career high in home runs is 17. He's going to surpass that. So he's going to have a career year at the right time. Do people expect that to keep up? Because he's been an everyday player before. 21, 22, and 23. He played 130 games or more each year. He never had numbers like this. His career high OPS was 740. That's almost 300 points higher right now. So he's doing things he's never done in his career. I think it is a little early to
yeah,
think about an extension, but it is an interesting conversation to be had because when you're this early in the season, you're still trying to figure things out. It does bring up conversation. That's what we're trying to do here on this Friday. It is really outside of the last series and the series we have coming up. There's not really much else to discuss because Trent Grisham has been kind of the talk of town, as good as Aaron Judge has been, as good as Goldschmidt's been. No one saw this coming from Trent Grisham, so it does bring up those conversations. It's over. The best reliever available is expected to be Cardinals closer Ryan Helsley. Trade him with Arenado for Spencer Jones and two lower level prospects not named Lombard Jr. Do you think the Yankees would go after Ryan Helsley, even though the bullpen is, aside from Devin Williams, seemingly their strength?
they're always going to look for pitching. I don't. The Yankees aren't going to make any deals right now. Like they're not going to try and make any trades right now. Even with this team being a little bit incomplete right now, but they're going to get some of their reinforcements coming back. As far as trades, I mean, could they look at Ryan Helsley? Maybe. Once again, I think they're going to look at pitching, but the moves aren't going to happen until the deadline. So that's when you'll probably see the Yankees in action. And honestly, as of late, you look at the last few years, the Yankees they've made a few moves at the deadline, not a whole lot though. Last year, they did go after Jazz. That was actually that was a big deal. And then they went after Mark Leiter Jr. I mean, Mark Leiter Jr. is very up and down. I mean, there's times where he looks okay, and then other times you're just like, what is going on with him? You don't know what you're gonna get with Mark Leiter Jr. But anyway, Helsley, like Ken says, he would be a 3-month rental. So do we really want to run? Do we want another rental? Do the Yankees want to deal with a rental? I mean, maybe if push comes to shove. But as we know with Brian Cashman, I think he likes to get pitchers with like controllable years. So I don't know if Helsley will be that guy because I don't know if it's not going to be worth trading for a rental. Personally, I like Helsley. Don't get me wrong. I just wish he had like another year or two of control under him. I'd be like, yeah, go after him. But I again, I like Helsley. Just I don't like the 3-month rental idea. I don't like rental players. But he'd be a good guy to go after. Maybe the Yankees, once again, I think they could go after him in free agency. But they're going to be active, and they're going to be active for pitching. They're always going to be. So as far as the deadline goes, I like Helsley, but not for a 3-month rental. Once again, I know I keep saying it, but it just keeps playing over and over in my head because I was like, man, Ryan Helsley would be great, but
It's a great point because they already have Williams who's a rental, and assuming maybe they move him and then they go get Helsley, maybe you can do something like that. But it seems like too many moving parts, too many kind of like video game stuff that you
Yeah.
just don't see a lot of teams doing. Devin Williams is not a bad pitcher. It's not like they picked up some random scrub and they're trying to figure out a way to get rid of him. Devin Williams is one of the best closers in baseball. He's just gotten off to a really bad start, but he's had a few more better outings lately. I know the first game of the series was bad, but he kind of redeemed himself the other day. So hopefully, hopefully, he's on the right track. And we don't have to worry about getting a bullpen arm because we'll have that electric 8-9 combo. And eventually Loizaga will be back. So we have the back end of the bullpen settled. Cousins as well. So I don't think they really have to worry about the bullpen. It's starting pitching that they really have to go after. What's up, Damian? He's saying Cashman finally gets Pablo Lopez.
Pablo Lopez. What up, Damian? Long time no see, man.
Wouldn't that be interesting? The move that could have been back in 2022. My dad's saying good morning to you, NFE.
Hey, Mr. Barrows. What's up, man? It's been a
Let's see
while.
what our old buddy Sunil is saying. Emphasis on old. With this team being incomplete and in need of a righty bat, and assuming a bad setback for Big G, do you make a video 2019 Edwin Encarnacion type move? Well,
I
that
think,
would have been JD Martinez in free agency.
yeah.
And with the way Ben Rice is swinging the bat, currently being the primary DH, I don't think they need to panic and get a bat if Stanton goes down. And this would obviously allow you to keep Grisham and keep the rotation going the way it is with Bellinger, Dominguez, Grisham getting playing time as often as they can. So I don't think they go that route. I don't know if that bat's out there. Like, would it be Jock Peterson or something like that? But he's not off to the best of starts. So
Yeah.
I don't think they do that. I think the player to get if they wanted to go that route would have been JD Martinez this past offseason, but they didn't want to pay the money. And that's another thing. The Yankees don't want to add too much salary. So what are they realistically going to add to their roster without overspending past their budget? That's another conversation that needs to be had. So all these names that we're talking about are interesting,
Yeah.
but there's also the factor of money because John Heyman just recently said they have not shown interest at all in Arenado. We know they didn't show interest in Bregman this offseason, and Bregman is an MVP candidate so far through 40 games. He's having himself a phenomenal start to the season over in Boston. So players the Yankees could have used, but they didn't want to spend the money for him. So I don't see them doing that midway through the season. I know Arenado would make less, but he would also be a pretty big tax hit next year. And I don't think the Yankees want to go that route with the money.
Yeah, they're trying to not add a lot of money to their payroll right now. I mean, they're already over the threshold, and I know a lot of folks want to say that the Yankees are cheap, but I don't think I would never call them cheap just because you have over $300 million payroll. There's nothing cheap about that. There's zero there. You can't say that they're cheap. I know there's always a constant comparison to the Dodgers, but then um, the Dodgers are owned by a different kind of ownership, but that we could go down that rabbit hole. So, but we're not going to. But yeah, I don't know what the Yankees game plan is going to be. I mean, yeah, I don't think they want to. I don't think they're going to want to add too much salary. Hal is trying to shed salary. That's just that's the thing, and you're going to have some money come off the books after next season. So, or after this season. So, Hal's going to try and stay under that threshold. And he's been trying to, but I mean, I know there's been times where, he had to go over that 300 million or whatever, but he doesn't like to be over it. But yeah, I don't know. The team is fine in certain aspects, but they are missing a few guys. I mean, the team is they're still incomplete right now because of the injuries. So I think once they get a few of the guys back, I think this team will look a lot better than where they are right now. And I also say with Cookie Carrasco being out of the rotation, I think the rotation will improve. as well. I know, Luis Hill is still not back, but whoever they decide to stick with, because the rotation is going to be very interesting once Hill gets back. So, yeah, I don't see the Yankees. They're not going to add a whole lot of salary, and I know there was rumors about Arenado that they were going after Arenado, but was that like all false reporting? Then is that my understanding?
I don't think anybody really knows because it was multiple like ML. It wasn't like some random guy off the street was saying, "Oh, they're close." It was Mark Feinsand was
Okay.
reporting about it. There was the Cardinals beat writer that was reporting about it for
Oh, right.
MLB.com. So it wasn't like it was these random people saying it was possible. But then guys like Jack Curry and Joel Sherman, John Heyman, they all kind of said, no, there's no interest there. So there was really a lot of like ups and downs. Brian Hoke was saying kind of the same thing. Like there was some potential. And here's a special guest to complete the trio for the morning. Dad.
Hey.
How are you? Can you hear us?
Mr.
Everything good on your end?
Hey, NFE. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? How's it going?
I'm good. How's everything? You doing good?
I can't complain. I'm doing good. Just hanging here with your son, hanging here with Rob. Now
That's good.
Yeah, we got Mr. Barrows.
All right, Dad. Tell us your thoughts about. Keep it PG. Tell us your thoughts about this team, about this series against the Padres.
Well, actually, I think it was a pretty good series. Grisham was phenomenal. I really think Grisham proved to the Yankees that he could play. He's a good outfielder. I always liked Grisham. He just never had a lot of time to play last year, But he's actually showing the Yankees that, hey, give me some time out here and I'll prove it to you. But overall, I think they need a little more help with starting pitching. Other than that, it is what it is this year. Let's just hope we could, at least make the playoffs. I think we will. I don't know how far we'll go, but
so currently we're in first place in what's been a bad AL East. I mean, the Red Sox are like the second best team. What are they, 18 and 19, or they're right at 500? So
I think they're 500.
The Yankees are kind of lucky. Oh, that came from you. Was that you typing that in, NFE? Okay, yes. Yeah, all right. I was like, who? I was like, when did Uncle Tats join the chat?
No, I'll be clear. I saw Stephen B's comment, so I had to answer him.
Okay. But yeah, I just think the AL is so bad. Like currently, like, a lot can change. Someone can catch fire. Like a team like Texas can catch fire and start winning a lot of games. So right now the Yankees are kind of benefiting, even though they're hovering a few games over 500. They're kind of up and down when it comes to wins and losses. They're benefiting from a bad division.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Tigers are doing really good. Tigers have a pretty decent team. I haven't gotten to watch a lot of baseball, of course, because, I was sick. But, I'm getting better, and I'll be watching a lot more games now. I feel a lot better now, so. But, yep. But I loved watching the show. I miss going on NFE's show, too.
I had you on a couple of times, man. You rock it out. I think you should start your own channel there, Mr. Barrows. I don't know how Rob feels about it, but maybe Rob's can help you out.
Yeah, I would do it with him. I would definitely do a show with him.
It's very easy. Ken, I know he's still in the chat. Ken's got his show. I think he's going live at some point today, but the ugly truth. But yeah, it's easy. Just StreamYard, set it up, and you're good to go. Lou's saying that we're coasting. We're going to coast into the playoffs. I mean, at this rate, we might. It's just a matter of what do we do when we get there. That was not a lot of people are saying hi to Tats. That wasn't Tats that was in the chat. I thought it was. It was it was Sunil, not Sunil. It was NFE. Thank God it wasn't Sunil taking over our channel. We had to come up with a whole new show. But no, it was NFE responding to Stevie B. But I'll make sure you can tell. I'll tell Tats you guys all said hello. 115 pre-series review. All right. So make sure everyone goes and checks out Ken's show at 115, The Ugly Truth.
Yeah.
But what else? What else happened during this series? That 10-run inning, because I didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
How crazy was that? Like, just to go from losing that game to then they score 10 in an inning, when the night before they could only get 3, kind of goes back to what I was saying on Monday, just how we never know what we're going to get from this team, kind of on an inning by inning basis. To go from being kind of shut down to then they score 10. What is next? It's kind of like, it's almost fun in a way, never knowing what this team's going to give you on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's like a crap shot.
Yeah, with that 10-run 7th, I don't think any of us saw that coming. The young guys came through on that one big time, man. It was a 10-run 7th. I mean, Austin Wells hitting that grand slam. It's just the bats just like erupted. You know what I mean? And that was against keep in mind, this is against a very good San Diego Padres team. This year, like going into the series, I was just like, this is not going to be easy because the Padres are good. They got good pitching. They got a great lineup. I mean, there's guys in that lineup that I'm just like, shoot, man, I am worried about these guys. Their bullpen is pretty solid too. Now, I know, I forgot who it was, but when I went live and somebody said, well, they got 10 runs, they got a lot of those runs against Wandy Peralta, because he's not a great pitcher by any means, but at the same time, I'm just like, they can't score runs on average pitching. They make average pitchers look like Cy Young winners. So, you know what? I'll take what I can get from, it was Lou that said that. Yeah. And Lou, I hear you loud and clear, but how many games have we seen where the Yankees bats cannot hit against average pitching, or they make they make these pitchers look like freaking Nolan Ryan out there. You know what I mean? It's just like, they do well against pitchers that are, a little bit of a better caliber. But again, to your point, you never know what you're going to see with this team. So, I like that everything just went right with that 10-run 7th. I mean, you had a great outing by Clark Schmidt. And Clark Schmidt, I think that was his best performance yet. I don't know if you guys talked about that, but we weren't. I mean, a lot of us had doubts going into that game when it came to Clark Schmidt, but that was his best performance. He went 6 innings, which is not typical for him. He usually goes about 4 or 5.
Yeah,
but he held his own in that game, even after giving up those 2 runs. He still kept the team in the game. And held his own. Just the bat needed to come through. You gotta give credit where credit is due. And I was so happy for Schmidt, man, because that was like he was my player of the game for me. I know they had that 10-run 7th, but I gave him so much credit because it was just like, he went out there and just made it happen. So I hope we see more outings like this from Clark Schmidt. And I would love to see the Yankees score 10 runs in an inning, but we know that's not going to happen every time. So
if they can do it every game, they would never lose. What's up, Max?
Max.
Damian saying doesn't even matter who's pitching. 10 runs in an inning is not anything to sneeze at.
No,
doesn't. Yeah, I mean, unless it was against a position player. But you're right though, because and Lou brought it up. We were getting no hit against Cease. Now I love Dylan Cease. I think Dylan Cease is great, but he has been struggling. He was struggling going into that start. So he has an ERA over 5, and we go ahead and we get no hit by him for the first 5 in the 3rd inning until Bellinger took him deep. So that's kind of proven the point of like every day is an adventure with this team.
Yeah.
You go from putting up 10 spot and then you're getting no hit. As good as Dylan Cease is, you just never know what you're getting.
What's funny about that too was like, when I did the pregame, a couple days ago, and with Dylan, talking about Dylan Cease. I was like, I know he's struggling, right? I know he's struggling. He had a 1-2 record. It was like his ERA was in the fives. I was like, I still ain't sleeping on him. I was like, I'm not going to sleep on Dylan Cease. Sure enough, he had a freaking no-hitter going till Cody Bellinger broke that up. But again, like you said, you never know what you're going to get with this team. But Wednesday night's game, that was like the best piece of baseball all season the Yankees played. I mean, they played some good games and other games that they won, but that was just like everything just went exactly according to plan. Like the cards were played right. I couldn't complain about Wednesday night's game. So
that was a phenomenal game to come back and win that like that. The guy that hit the play. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, I said what I said, so you're good.
Who was the player that hit the fly ball to the outfield?
Escara.
All right, I didn't know that he was even on the Yankees. I tell you, it's been a while. but
yeah,
it was a great game. Great game.
I mean, Boone kind of redeemed himself because he has been making some pretty terrible decisions lately, but the idea to pinch hit with Grisham obviously worked because he hits the home run to tie the game, and then Escara coming off the bench just needs to put the ball in play. I don't think anyone was looking at that and going, why would you? I was like, why is he bringing in Escara? All you had to do is put the ball in the air, and that's exactly what he did. So Boone pressed the right buttons in that game, and it was about time because he really was pissing us off for the last maybe 4 or 5 games. That Tampa Bay series was terrible, and everything else was okay. But that final game, he actually did press all the right buttons. I think letting Williams, as much as it pained us to watch him pitch through that, letting him pitch through that, saying, get yourself out of this jam, was probably the right thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely was. I give Boone credit there.
The starting pitching, though, in this series was actually really good. Before we kind of close things out, we're going to talk about Escara in a second. But the starting pitching in general in this series was really good. So everyone in the chat, let us know. Max Fried, he keeps getting disrespected on these pitcher power rankings. They have him 5th in baseball somehow when he's got an ERA just of 1. He's obviously one of the best pitchers in the league right now. How important has he been? And I think he's been worth every single penny so far. I mean, we needed him to be the ace. Garrett Cole's hurt. Been outstanding. And then we can't forget that Carlos Rodon has also been pitching out of his mind. The Yankees kind of they did waste a really good start out of him, and they almost wasted Fried's great start the other night. So I want a huge shout out to the starting pitching.
What is Fried's record right now? What is he, 6-0, 7-0?
He's 6-0. He's 6-0. Because Wednesday's game, went into extra innings, and actually Williams ended up getting the win on that one.
Yeah, no decision for Fried.
Yeah, it was a no decision Fried, which sucks, man. I really wanted that 7th win, but yeah, that rotation, guys. I mean, the rotation did their job. Like I said, Schmidt did better than what a lot of us expected. I don't think anybody had Schmidt pitching the way he did. Rodon was phenomenal out there, man. He was striking those guys out. He was getting those guys out, but they blew it for him big time. And I'm just like, oh my God, man. And that always frustrates me when guys like Rodon has such a solid start and then the team doesn't come up with the win. It's kind of you just kill the start, man. And then Fried is, I think, better than advertised. I mean, I knew he was going to be a good pitcher, but Fried is looking phenomenal out there on the mound, man. The guy is just bringing it every single game. Doesn't matter who he's going up against. He's holding his own. He's definitely the ace of this season. So, or for the Yankees at least, he's definitely the ace, and he's stepping up big time. But boy, Yeah,
Sorry, I have a question. If Cole was to come back, say today, tomorrow, would you still consider Freed the ace? I would. I
Right now,
personally would.
I think right now you kind of have to. Ken brings up a good point. Yamamoto's ERA jumped up to at 1.8, which is still really good.
yeah,
But Fried is now the ERA leader in baseball. He's 6-0 with a 105 ERA. I mean, if that's not ace, I don't know what is. Like, you're talking about
Yeah.
1 run per game. Kodai Senga is second with the 1.16. I mean, there's been a lot of really good pitchers so far this year, but Max Fried has been arguably the best out of all of them. His ERA, it shows it. I mean, he's just a shade over 1. You don't see that every day, even at this stage of the season. The fact that the Yankees don't lose when he pitches, he's undefeated. His ERA is 1. His WHIP is below 1 dot, so it's a .91 WHIP. He's doing everything that he's been asked to do. So I think at this stage, even if Cole were to come back tomorrow or tonight, Fried's still the ace of this staff. Like, if we had Cole healthy and the playoffs started tomorrow, Max Fried starts game 1. I think that's the best way to put it.
Absolutely. Yep. No, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, Cole will definitely be. Yeah, he if he was to come back today, I'm right there with you guys. I think he'd be the number 2. But come next year, though, I think you'll see Cole back in the number 1 spot. Honestly, because he is the original ace of the team. Unless things change, we don't know what's going to happen. What's up, man? We don't know what's gonna happen with this team. So come next season. But as far as this season, though, Fried is the ace. End of story. And he has stepped up big time. So
I mean, it's still annoying to think about, like, what we could have had with Fried being the way he is, and Cole and Rodon pitching the way he is, and Clark Schmidt. We wouldn't be having these worries about Cookie Carrasco and Will Warren struggling so far. We don't have to worry about who's going to take over for Carrasco's spot, which probably should be Alan Winans, but we'll see what they do there. Could be Yarbrough because he's pitched really well. Yeah, Fried doesn't crack, Lou. You're right. He's been – and we don't know what Cole's going to be. Coming off Tommy John, it's very – you never know. Look at Luis Heel. It took him a couple of years to finally get back to pitching. And as good as he was, Garrett Cole's going to be a year older. So we don't really know where he's going to be velocity-wise. Is he going to be able to have to throw that fastball 95 plus again? Will he have to resort to more of a cutter, maybe a sinker, which I think Rodon's starting to throw a sinker a little bit more over his last few starts. I've noticed that in his last few outings, the sinker's been featured more. So maybe Cole has to go that route. So we really don't know what Cole's going to be when he comes back from Tommy John, which is why it's so important that Fried is off to the start he is. Because if he wasn't, this team's probably 6 games below 500 or something like that. And we're looking up at Boston and Tampa Bay and Toronto and Baltimore even. Like, we're probably sitting there at the cellar of the AL East. So Max Fried, in a way, I think it was said earlier in the chat, may have been the best signing of the offseason because of how important he's been for this team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they needed to go after a starting pitcher anyway. I mean, even with prior to all the injuries, right? Prior to all the injuries, with Soto, without Juan Soto, right? They needed to go after another starting pitcher because I didn't trust I wasn't trusting the rotation prior to Max Fried going into the 2025 season. I just wasn't trusting it. That was the big concern for me was the rotation, right? But once they added Max Fried, I was like, okay, that's a big upgrade to the rotation. He's going to be Cole's number 2, right? Once again, I'm thinking, prior to the injuries, because we didn't know, who would have thought this stuff would have went down. I mean, if I was a mind reader or if I could predict the future, my career would be a lot different today. But I can't predict injuries or anything like that, so nobody can. But they absolutely needed to get Fried. They had to get another starting pitcher. I'm glad they got him, man. Fried was a steal, and he almost went to the Red Sox. That's the crazy part about it. And if he went to the Red Sox, I would have been very worried about how this team was going to do because Red Sox are what, 2 games behind?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
2
Yeah.
games back.
Yeah, they're 2 games behind. They're still. I mean, if they had Freed, I think that it would be a different story. I think that team would be in first place. Yankees would probably be swimming in the bottom of the division. Honestly, like I think if they didn't get Freed or if they didn't make the acquisitions that they did, I think this team would be a 4th or 5th place team. Honestly, right now. So that's that's my take on it. So
If the Red
Are,
Sox
are
had
they?
Freed and Crochet, it'd be game over if they had those two.
oh my God, yeah.
Are they expecting Cole to come back this year?
No, it's
No.
Tommy John. If we're lucky, he'll be back next year. They said he had some sort of something done with his Tommy John that could allow him to be back by next
It was a
spring.
brace that they were talking about. They
Yeah.
put a brace in his elbow. Even if he was to come back next year, do we really, or not this year, should I say? Do you really want to risk that?
No.
Nah, I wouldn't. I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
because
it's-
I don't. To me, he'll. I think they should just sit him out. I mean, even if he's able to somewhat pitch, and I see a couple of people like Nosebleed Section saying he's scheduled to start throwing in August, but he starts throwing in August. He goes to for hypothetically speaking, he has like rehab games. But I mean, do we really want him pitching in the postseason though?
No.
Let the guy let him begin his throwing program, but let him get ready for next season.
Yeah.
Go with what you have right now, and let him just get ready for next season. I don't like that idea of like, oh, he could be back on a limited pitch count. I don't even want him limited pitch count, man. I want him back 100%. That's what I would rather have. So let the guy get healthy, let him recover, let him do what he needs to do, and then let him ramp back up for 2026. There's no reason to have him back right this season. It's let him wait it out.
We still got him for 3 more years after this, so you don't want to risk it. Even if they did say, oh, he can come back and potentially pitch, which they're not saying that, but even if he could start, let's just say for a hypothetical talk, he could come back in September and pitch games. You don't want to risk that.
Right.
It'd be nice to have Garrett Cole back, don't get me wrong, but it'd be too risky. So obviously with Tommy John, you're out for the whole season. There's no way he's going to come back. And we'll have him back next year. That's really it. But the fact that we could have him by opening day next year, potentially, I wouldn't put 100% certainty on that, but just have him back for next year. You'll have hopefully Max Fried doing what he's doing right now. Carlos Rodon seems to have figured it out for now, still a long ways to go. And I'm sure they're going to look to add some pitching again because that's what they like to do. They like to develop pitching, to trade it, and sign proven arms. So maybe they bring back Michael King or something like that. Maybe they do go after a Dylan Cease.
Oh man, yeah,
and try to load up on the rotation again.
Yeah, there's gonna be. I know there's a lot of fans that would love to have Michael King back, myself included. I like Michael King, man. I know some fans were sad to see him go, myself included. But at the time, you had to trade him because of what the Yankees' needs were at the time. I mean, if you asked me if I would do that trade again, I would do it. I would 100% do it again. 100% do it again. But you got to give up something good to get something good. That's the thing with trades. And again, given the timeline of what the Yankees needed, they needed to make that happen. So yeah, they could bring back Michael King. It's entirely possible, and he's pitching well over there at San Diego. There's a few free agent pictures. Dylan Cease, I'd be down. It just depends on what he's looking for. Zach Gallen from the Diamondbacks. That's another guy I would want the Yankees to look at. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees look at starting pitching in the offseason. They're always going to do their due diligence and check it in. So on players, but I would love for the Yankees to go after Zach Gallen too, if it's not Michael King.
There's always
you never know. This year, look, we made the World Series last year. I still say Game 1 cost us that series, but it is what it is. It's over. But I think this year we're gonna be surprised. I think the Yankees are gonna make it. Maybe not to the series, but I have a feeling they're gonna make it into the playoffs, even with the team they got now.
they missed it with this division being what it is right now, that'd be some fireable offenses for the front office. They missed the playoffs with the American League being outside of like the Tigers and Mariners right now. The American League is not the best. They missed the playoffs in this American League. They should cancel Boone's extension. Cashman should be gone. Like they should probably think about
cleaning house.
Yeah, cleaning house. But I just can't see that happening. It's about what they do when they get to the playoffs. If they get a first round exit, then everyone's suspicions of this team kind of comes true. And if they go further, it's kind of like, oh, they exceeded expectations. I think that's kind of what the Yankees are banking on, is maybe they exceed the expectations a bit. Although I still think the expectation is to go win a World Series. I don't know if they will or not. Anything can happen. I actually feel like it's better that we're not having this hot start that we had last year, because when we did that last year, it's like now you got to keep winning and you got to go win 100+ games, be the best team in baseball, and muscle your way through. To see the way they played in the playoffs or in the World Series, at least have it end like that, you're kind of like, oh, that was for nothing. I'm not saying they have to struggle their way through it, but if they kind of go through these highs and lows early, finish strong, you kind of want to go into the playoffs hot, and that can lead you to hopefully a better outcome this time around. But it's still a long ways to go. A lot of things to be changed, players to come back, players to possibly acquire, players to trade away. So on May 9th, we're not going to know really anything about what this team's going to be by the time we reach October. And that's kind of something we have to realize about baseball. Is as much as you play 40 games, usually that's halfway through a hockey season and a basketball season. Football doesn't get close to 40. There's still 120 games to go. So there's still way too much time before we really know what this team's about. And that's kind of the gift and the curse of baseball. It's too long, but it's also like, okay, we can relax a little bit, because on May 9th, you're not going to know what a team truly is until mid-season at best.
Yeah, it's still way too early in the season. I mean, I know they've been struggling in some games, struggling in some series, but still very, very early. Like you said, it's May 9th, man. And there's a long way to go. They got to get through. They got to get through surviving this month, right? Because May is kind of a big month. If you looked at the schedule, it's a pretty big month. So they have to get through this month, and then hope when June comes around, Luis Hill hopefully is back by the end of June. I wouldn't surprise me if he's back, early part of July. And then, we know Giancarlo Stanton's making his rounds right now. So it sounds like he's slowly starting to come around. But even though his elbows are, it is what it is. I mean, it sounds like it's just something that he's going to deal with, and he's just going to have to manage. So, those tennis elbows that he's suffering from is something that he's just going to have to deal with. That's something he said. So, either he said or something that the coaching staff said. I forget, but either way,
it was him. I think.
I thought it was him, but yeah, it's just something he's just going to have to deal with. He's just going to have to manage the pain and play it right, hopefully. So, but yeah, hopefully they can get through this month of May with pretty well. Hopefully they have a better May than April. Hopefully, the series against San Diego, hopefully that's a motivator for them, because I think a lot of people probably expected them to lose the series or get swept.
Yeah,
personally. So I don't think anybody expected them to win this series, but they did.
When are they expecting Stanton to come back?
Could be by the end of this month. Aaron Boone didn't rule it out. He said he wouldn't rule out Stanton returning when his IL stint is up, which I believe is the end of this month. But I would say sometime maybe middle of June, because they said he doesn't really need to do a full rehab assignment because he's just a DH. They don't have to worry about him throwing and running the outfield. Really, he needs to run the bases, but because he's just a DH, the rehab's a little bit different. So they really just need him to be able to swing a bat and run to first, run to second, run to third, run home. That's really it. So Hopefully we get him back soon, but I don't think they need to push it because the way that guys like Rice and Grisham are hitting, they don't need to push it just yet. So there's still a good, I would say, month before we probably see Stanton in game action.
Mm-hmm.
But to wrap it up, final thoughts here. I'll start with you, Dad, for your show debut.
Oh, well, one, I just want to wish you a happy birthday again. I love you very much. And I love the show. I always come on. NFE, you're a phenomenal person. And I just want to see the Yankees, man, make it again to the series. I was so psyched last year, and to lose that the way we did, but it is what it is. And let's go Yankees, man. Let's go. That's all I got to say.
Rob's birthday and he doesn't tell us, bro.
No, I had to tell you guys.
I think it was good for me to know, man. Jeez, Rob.
If you were in the chat earlier, you would have saw it, but you were late. But NFE, your closing thoughts for the show.
Well, first off, happy birthday, Rob. Awesome. I don't know if you're planning on doing anything, but if you are, just be safe. If I don't know if you go out or anything, but
I don't like people very much. At least I don't like crowds, so I won't be doing anything crazy. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, no, all right, cool. I'm right there with you. But man, it's too bad I don't live near you, dude. I would have given you like birthday punches. So that'd have been a lot of birthday punches.
Reserve those for Sunil.
I got chokeholds for Sunil. So no, I'm just kidding. No, my final thoughts, honestly, man. Look, I hope I just hope things continue. This is a motivator for the Yankees after that series win. I hope they, I hope in the following series, following games that they have coming up, they continue taking these series because they do need to start winning some series. And I hope that San Diego series was a big motivator for him because that's a big deal to beat a team like that, especially after coming off of 2 back-to-back series losses against 2 teams that they should have won the series against, right? But this month of May, it's gonna be tough. But I think this team is starting to hopefully come around. I think guys are finding their groove. There's still a couple of guys that need to step up, but let's go Yankees. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Let's go Yankees. Go out there, kill it. Go win. They just need to play like the way they played in that San Diego series. They just need to play it like that every single series, even if they lose. They're gonna lose. It's inevitable. It's baseball. You win or you lose. So they're not gonna win. They're not gonna go 30-0 in any month. So you just hope that the big thing is I just want these guys winning series. I don't, if you don't sweep, you don't sweep, but you need to go out and win series. There's one team that they should sweep, and if they don't, then I'm going to be a little upset. And I'll leave it at that.
Yep. Well, thank you to NFE. Thank you to Dad for jumping on. Thank you to everybody that joined on the chat. It was not supposed to be just me, but things came up with Donald and Tat. So, again, maybe tomorrow morning, I'm still going to try to figure that out with Donald and Tats, what time we want to go on to do the awards for the series. But thank you to everybody that was here with us the entire time. Thank you again to NFE for joining. Thank you to Dad for joining. Thank you to everybody that wished me a happy birthday in the chat. I appreciate it. And make sure you keep those notification bells on so you can find out when we do go live next. NFE, I believe, is going to go live again tonight for the game and tomorrow afternoon as well. NFE, you got a show, and I believe at 2 p.m. I'm going to be joining you. So keep on the lookout for that. NFE is the Strike Zone. Of course, sub up to that if you haven't already. I'm sure you all have. Sub up to Ken's The Ugly Truth. What's up, NFE?
No, I was just going to say tonight I won't be live for the play-by-play just because of the time. So
that's right. It's like a 10:05 start.
Yeah, right? I got some stuff going on tonight, so I won't be able to do it. But tomorrow afternoon, though, definitely going to go live for the play-by-play, and then I'm going to have my boy Rob on the show. We're going to talk some Yankee prospects because I certainly there's some things to definitely talk about with the prospects, and I certainly love to get Rob's thoughts because I know you keep up with it still. So you're like my go-to guy for that. So yeah.
Looking forward to it. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Look on the lookout for NFE when he goes live for the play-by-play. But we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you once again to everybody for joining us. I'm going to steal Uncle Tats's line. Wear those pinstripes of pride and play hard. Let's go Yanks.